This week's episode is sponsored by the Breakthrough to Excellence Network. This network will help you stop scaling your business in chaos and get you back to building your legacy by restoring your confidence, your systems, and your strategy that will honor your God given talents. You can find more information at www.jasminehaley.com. Welcome to the Breakthrough to Excellence podcast. I'm Jasmine Haley, healthcare provider turned educator, entrepreneur, and startup strategist. Not too long ago, I was burnt out, overwhelmed, depressed, and full of fear from a toxic work environment. I created my business out of necessity to create a legacy I can be proud of today. It helps me transform the lives of women every single day to pursue their dreams and entrepreneurial goals. I created this podcast to share the empowering stories of entrepreneurial women, help you break through self-doubt to your greatness, and share business strategies to help you create a thriving and profitable business. If you're an emerging entrepreneur or business owner that wants to create the mindset needed to escape burnout, reclaim your personal power, and pursue your entrepreneurial dreams, this podcast is for you. Stay tuned and listen in. Hey, welcome to another episode. And today I am going to be pulling at your heartstrings because I am specifically speaking to those individuals who have waited to share their message from the stage. We are all unique in our own right. We've had our own experiences. We have our own unique lens on the world. And unfortunately, many of us have fallen short. We have allowed numerous amount of things to prevent us from sharing our message. But guess what? Sharing your story can set other people free. Yeah, I don't know who gave that quote, but I have a plaque here from a friend of mine, and it is so amazing. It was someone else's story that allowed me to set myself free from a toxic work environment. When I learned about Les Brown, when I learned about Brenda Burchard, when I learned about the challenges that people have gone through, Oprah Winfrey, other people who have shared their story that we have all witnessed and seen, millions of people, and have gotten inspired by their action, by their choices to move through the challenges. Can you name anyone? Can you name any individuals who have impacted you? I was recently asked who was the most influential person, who was I most uh, proud of, or who was the best person. And honestly, I couldn't name who that person was. It was a recent podcast. I couldn't name who that person was. And the reason for that is there are myriads of people who have impacted me. And so I was most proud of myself, not in a narcissistic way, but the fact that despite the adversities that I've faced, I have continued to be resilient. I have continued to find pearls and lessons learned so I can continue to show up as the best version of myself. So it's my role now as your guide, as your trainer, to help you get your message and your expertise onto the stage. And so I'm going to share with you why now is the time, why we shouldn't wait for that perfect moment, because guess what? It's never going to come. And how my experiences, my expertise, and the program that I've created could be the stepping stone for you to be able to make an amazing, impactful difference in the lives of the communities that you serve. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts about this episode. And I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for continuously showing up every single week to support little old me and the message that I have to share. I am honored, I am grateful, and I hope that you enjoy this training. Hey, 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 welcome to the training. Now is the time to take your expertise to the stage. I'm so passionate about this subject, and I hope that the information that I share today is going to help invigorate you in your choices of whether or not you are ready to take your expertise to the stage and actually make it profitable. So, my question to each of you is, how long have you been waiting to share your message, your story, your genius from the stage? Many of us, unfortunately, have waited years, they've waited months, or they've just been really overwhelmed on where to start. So they just put it aside, they see other people doing it, and they're like, you know what? One day I'll get there. The problem is that when we continuously are stalling, we are losing precious time that we could be utilizing to build our brand, to build our brand specific for the stage, and also to let other people and individuals who are responsible for the event planning know about the work that we do. And it often leads us to a place of where we're feeling frustrated, especially when you watch your peers, okay? Because I've been there. You watch your peers doing something that you've been wanting to do for quite some time. They may not be as good as you, let's keep it real, right? But yet they're willing to charge the necessary fees for the work that they're doing. They're willing to show up. They are getting the corporate sponsorship that you desire. They're getting the recognition that you have wanted for yourself because you do have a message to share. However, you've allowed other things to kind of get in the way. Some of the excuses that we tend to make when it comes to speaking are numerous. Okay. And many of them, I have said it. In fact, still to this day, I often will not re listen to a pre recorded interview from me because I know that I will scrutinize that thing and say, oh, it wasn't that great, or I should have said this. So I already know that I can be my own worst enemy. But it doesn't stop me from going on the stage. It doesn't stop me from showing up in clubhouse rooms. It doesn't stop me from showing up podcast interviews. It certainly is not going to stop me from showing up at in-person events. So what's your excuse? Is it that you hate hearing your voice? Is it that you have an accent and you're afraid that people aren't going to take you seriously? Are you just simply scared of being in front of people and sharing your message just overall? Are you worried about the fact that when you speak, you tend to overly profusely sweat, right? Talk about pit stains for days. I remember I had to learn very quickly not to wear light color clothing, okay? All right, it was pretty bad for me. How about you think that no one's going to want to hear your message from the stage? Have you felt that way? Have you worried about that? What about the mind trash that makes you feel like you need to take one more certification course? You need to get just a few more years of experience. You need to have a few more clients on your roster. You need to do more before hitting the stage, sharing your story, sharing your message. Have you ever felt any of those things? Well, y'all, I tell you this. I was tired of just sitting and letting everybody else fulfill their goals. I was tired of being in a toxic work environment. I knew that I had the ability to take my education, my expertise, my unique story and point of view, because we all have it, and share it. And I didn't wait for permission. And let me read to you the quote that really impacted me when I was stuck. And this is actually from my book. It's called Breakthrough to Excellence. I just wrote it. It was published in February of this year. And the quote says this, quote, "The graveyard is the richest place on earth because it is here that you will find all the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, all because someone was too afraid to take that first step, keep with the problem, or determined to carry out their dream." End quote. That is from the great and amazing Les Brown. Now, I want to add in there the keynotes that you never presented, the courses that you never developed, the workshops that you never created. Have you stalled on sharing your message? Have you stalled and prevented yourself from asking for the fee for the work that you're doing? Know this: when I suddenly lost my mother, when she passed away, boom, just like that, and I realized the futility of life, and then I saw that I was wasting away in an environment that was not helping me reach my greatest potential, y'all. That helped me realize that the graveyard was full, right? It was full of my mother's hopes and dreams, and it was about to be full with mine if I didn't start taking action. So, this is a reason why I created my program. There are so many of us, especially BIPOC individuals, because when I first started speaking and getting out there, and I was currently at that time in the speaking world in the healthcare industry, every single speaker that I would see, every person that I would see writing in the magazines that I was reading were older white women. And y'all, I am from Jamaica, Queens, okay? I had an afro, all right? I didn't look nothing like the rest of them speakers. I used slang every now and then. I shared exactly what my story was. I was not raised with a silver spoon in my mouth, but yet somehow, some way, I grew this thriving speaking career, and I'm still getting booked today. And I did it because I showed up authentically who I am, and I decided to dive in deep to where my story was and what made my heart sing. And every single time I step on the stage, whether I'm in Clubhouse, live IG, in a virtual Zoom, or in person, I'm always going to give 150%. And so I've created this legacy scalar heart driven speaker program to help you do the same. I have been to conferences, I have gone to so many that I felt were not providing the critical foundational steps so that I can have a successful speaking business. I was in situations where I was having my ears tickled. And listen, y'all, it's amazing. It's wonderful to get to a place to show up and share your message. But at some point in time, that's not always going to pay the bills. The visibility is not going to pay the bills. And so this can be a profitable leg in your business. And I want to share with you and with other guest experts we're going to have in this program, how we're going to be able to serve you and get you to the place where you can start booking 5K and beyond contracts for yourself, whether through speaking or through your services. So I'm going to take a moment and just describe to you what the Legacy Scalar Heart Driven Speaker Program is and why I've created it and why now's the time to be a part of this movement that's happening in August. It is a 90-day program, and it is going to be accessible on the go, which is amazing. So not only will you be able to watch and learn, you can actually listen to the lessons on the go in a private podcast feed. So there should be no excuses on why you can't cover the content that we're sharing in the digestible format that we've created. It's going to be 12 weeks of rich content to help you develop your expertise, to pull the story, to pull what you've already have in your toolbox right now and help you with your presentation and delivery styles. You're going to actually have the opportunity to practice your presentations. I'm going to help you see how to protect your IP because ain't nobody was telling me about that. Okay. And I was getting into contracts where people were winning and I wasn't, how to build a profitable business through speaking, and then how to set up your systems to scale. A lot of us struggle with, okay, once I get on the stage, what happens next? And there's so much other stuff that happens as you're negotiating your speaking gig versus when you actually have acquired it. 2 times a month, we're going to meet as a group where you can ask whatever questions that you need. We will also have a private Facebook group where you can ask your questions there as well. All your program materials will be supplied by me. Your investment in the program will cover your textbook, your workbook, everything that you need to make this a successful experience for you. We have guest experts that are going to also help you reposition yourself and your brand as a speaker to take it seriously. And we're going to also create your speaker one page and your speaker media kit so that there's no excuse on why you can't share your message from now until eons from now. And then we finally end our 90-day experience with an in-person retreat. If circumstances allow, we will meet. If it is safe to, we will meet. And that's where I'm going to give you even more of a boost towards your speaking business and some other highlights that I'm not going to share. You'll just have to find out once you join. I put my foot up in this program, y'all, to help you get booked as a speaker, but also to see that this can be a profitable leg in your business. I'm so excited about this program, and I'm so thankful that I've been given this place to be able to do this. This has allowed me to be able to stay home, right? I have 2 children. I've been able to travel all across the US. I've been able to share my information with individuals, and I have been able to pick and choose where I want to show up and how I want to show up and have the flexibility to still be there for my girls. So I've been able to do it for myself. I've educated over 10,000 people. My clients have secured their own 5-figure corporate contracts. Keynote proposals have been accepted for them. They've been able to take their expertise, get it onto the stage. They've even been in the place where they've booked their first national gigs and beyond. So it's possible. It is totally possible. And this program is meant to give you everything I wish I had when I first started, instead of all the lessons I had to learn along the way. So you'll have swipe files, templates, and contracts. If you know that you are ready to take your expertise to the stage, you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You can be a professional, a healthcare professional, a legal professional, an accounting professional. Whatever it is that floats your boat, that gets you excited, you can be in a position to share that information and add this as a source of income in your business or just in your life. Remember, you are a brand whether or not you own a business. And so finally, I want to give a call to action to you. And this is this. We're not guaranteed another day of life at all. That is the reality. So how are you making your day, your weeks, your months, your years count? How are you living it with joy? How are you going out there and continually sharing and continuously showing up for yourself? Can you answer that? Are you daring to live your life with joy? Are you daring to continuously show up for yourself and share your message? If you know that you aren't, I want you to share with me what's held you back and why you're no longer going to allow it to hold you back. Whether you decide to work with me or not, I want every single person that I meet to have personal and professional freedom. It is my goal, it is my mission to help other entrepreneurs escape fear and get to the place where they are living a full life within their personal and their professional. And so make that one of your big call to actions. And if you know that the Legacy Scalar Heart Driven Speaker Program may be of interest to you, check your DMs. You've been DM'd by my team. They'll send you the information to submit your information for details, or simply send me a DM and I will send you that information. You can send it to me via Facebook or Instagram. I am here for you to start that conversation on what your speaker goals are and whether or not myself and my team can help you get there. Thanks for tuning into the show. Dive in deeper by visiting the show notes for this episode or listening to more episodes on JasmineHaley.com. If you found value in the show, share with a friend or leave us a review. I'll see you next time.